The Adventures of Neuron Ned by Armand McKeel and Dylan Brophy. How does a reflex occur? Neurotransmission from the presynaptic neuron to the postsynaptic neuron is how a reflex happens. A series of electrical changes must first happen before a presynaptic neuron can release a neurotransmitter to the next neuron in the chain. Neurons are separated by a synapse or synaptic cleft. Here's some important background information. In your body, there are billions of neurons. A neuron is a nerve cell that transmits nerve impulses. Each neuron has dendrites, which are branch-like structures that propagate stimuli from other neurons to the cell body or soma. The neuron moves down the axon until it reaches the axon terminals. At this point, the calcium channels are opened and calcium ions are released. The synaptic vesicles merge with the presynaptic membrane and a neurotransmitter is released. First step is depolarization. A stimulus begins to open sodium ion channels in the neuron's membrane to open, allowing the sodium ions outside of the membrane to enter the cell, making its charge more positive. Sodium-potassium pumps line the membrane where they exchange 3 sodium ions for 2 potassium ions. Step 2. Trigger of the action potential. If the signal is strong enough, the voltage reaches a threshold and an action potential is released. If the signal isn't strong enough, then no response is produced. This is known as the all or none principle. Then more sodium channels open and the inside of the cell becomes positively charged while the outside becomes negatively charged. Step 3. Repolarization. The electrical gradient reaches its limit and the sodium ion channels close while the potassium ion channels open, releasing potassium ions. Once the potassium gates close and there are no more potassium ions on the outside than there are sodium ions on the inside, the neuron becomes hyperpolarized. When the neuron is hyperpolarized, the cell's potential decreases a bit lower than its resting potential. And step 4 is refractory. During this step, Ned returns to his original polarized state, and the sodium goes back outside of the cell, and the potassium returns inside the cell. And that's it.